Morning, Russell. It's lovely to see you and delighted to be here in this beautiful part of Ripley. Tell me a little bit, you actually own this cafe. I think you're the manager here as well.
Yeah, that's right. Myself and my business partner, Andy Shaw, we run Pinnocks, set it up together, and we've been running it for just over a year and a half now.
Wow, that's nothing at all, is it?
No,
absolutely nothing at all. It's a beautiful ambience, and Ripley's just a lovely place to be based at, village-wise, isn't it?
Ripley is an amazing place. It's got a great community, which is one of the reasons that I moved here to live about 12 years ago. The villagers are immensely welcoming, really lovely, and have embraced Pinnocks and all that we stand for, which has just been wonderful.
Absolutely blessing. Were you doing this sort of work before you came here?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
No, I've never done anything like this before. Prior to this, I was a sign language interpreter, so that was my career for 20 years. And having done that for 20 years, I decided that I wanted to have a change.
Wow, that's such a contrast, isn't it, in terms of career, though?
I don't think it could be any more different.
I don't think it could. That's absolutely fascinating. And do you still dive into any of that? Or is that now sort of gone, as it were, because time-wise, I imagine it's hard to do both still?
Absolutely. I can't do any interpreting anymore because this place is 24/7 at the moment, but that's a fantastic thing. But the great thing about my previous career is that obviously I knew a lot of deaf people from that time, and I've got a huge amount of deaf customers that come in because basically they can communicate in their first language, in sign language. So they come in, yes, lots of them, which is really, really fantastic.
Getting back to this, we see before us a few gorgeous little items you prepared, which obviously come off your menu. Tell us just briefly what these are. I mean, these are obviously, I think this is a chocolate brownie.
Well, it's not just a chocolate brownie.
I probably underrated it, but it looks to me particularly scrummy, and it's also got some, I think, white chocolate going on there as well.
Well, as I said, Andy, who's my business partner, he does all of the cooking and he organised all of the menu. We have become well known for our white chocolate chip and fresh raspberry brownies. They are a winner. They are our top seller as well.
Yes.
Andy's put together an amazing menu. We basically do light lunches and snacks and things like that, but everything is made here on the premises. So we make all our own cakes, all our own quiches. Andy makes some fantastic salads as well. The granola sundae, which you can see
Well, this is
here.
what I'm going to say. This has caught my eye when you popped it on the table earlier, actually. It looks delicious.
This is a wonderful thing because it's actually healthy. Yeah. So it's homemade granola, so we make the granola here, then it's Greek yogurt, a fresh fruit coulis, and then fresh fruit on top as well. So it looks wonderfully naughty, but it's actually very good for you.
And that, I mean, that is the thing these days more than ever. A lot of establishments are putting sort of calorie counts on food, and you find your eyes wandering to that rather than the meal. But you're probably doing it. We don't need to do that because this is good for us, it looks.
This is actually good for you. I know that's, and people really, really like that because it does look, as I say, looks really naughty. But we have also done calorie counts on all of our dishes too. So we've got that. We're producing a new menu, and all of the calorie counts will be on that because people are health conscious these days.
That is important then. It is something you would obviously respect. People need to know. They want to know where they're going. That's wonderful. Absolutely. Now, one of the things I want to ask, and I know we're probably going to put our eyes slightly that way, some of your coffees are well renowned within the village and beyond, and you do the drop method, and I don't know if that's unusual or it's just something you need to perhaps describe to us to understand a little.
Sure.
I don't, know much about it really.
No, that's fine. Basically, what we do here is we do pour over. Okay, so it's what we call pour over rather than espresso-based coffee. Right. So everywhere you go, Starbucks, Costa, Nero, all of those places, of course, they're all espresso based. I lived out in San Francisco for a while and fell in love with what's called drip coffee or pour over coffee. And that's where I got my inspiration and obviously moved back here to England 12 years ago. And just a couple of years ago decided that that's what we wanted to do and serve just pour over. All of our coffees are organic, so they're all organic. We've got 9 different coffees to choose from at any one time. They are seasonal. We forget this as well. Coffee is seasonal. So we buy it in batches, and we work in partnership with a company called Beanbury. and they roast all of our coffees for us, and we roast every 2 or 3 days. So the coffee is as fresh as it can be.
That is exceptional, isn't it? I think that makes a particular, desire for me to come to visit a cafe for that sort of thing. How lovely! Do you have a favourite? Can I ask?
I do at the moment. Well, the wonderful thing is that our coffee menu keeps changing as things come in and out of season.
Yes, of course.
So we have at the moment on our board one of our special reserve coffees from Ethiopia. It's called the Amaragayo. Now this is what's called a natural coffee. With natural coffees, it's unwashed, which might make you think that sounds strange, but what they do is they strip the coffee from the trees, they leave it in the sun to dry, with the cherry from the tree still on top of sits on top of the coffee bean.
Understood, yes.
All the flavour from that cherry goes into the coffee bean. Now normally that's all washed away, so that flavour goes, but with this, the natural coffees, the flavour from the fruit stays in the coffee beans, so you get this wonderful explosion of blueberry almost as you're drinking the coffee. It's absolutely stunning.
It sounds one-off. I mean, I have some coffee here which I'm hugely enjoying, and I think you said this is what you would call your house coffee.
This is our house blend, yeah.
And I like the kind of analogy that when we go to restaurants and such, like, we get the house wine, but here we get a similar sort of thing. It's like a coffee menu of different things. It's wonderful, absolutely. This is delicious, I have to say. Really, really enjoying that this morning.
Our house blend is seasonal again, so it changes throughout the year depending on which beans we put in it. We have a house blend because not everybody knows a huge amount about coffee, and we're not coffee snobs here. The most important thing for us is that the customer feels welcomed, feels relaxed, and when they come in, if they don't know anything about coffee and they're unsure, we point them to our house blend. It's a nice medium strength coffee, and we keep it well balanced so it's nice and smooth throughout the year.
It's delicious. And talking of foods, do you source most of your sort of products from the area? I mean, you seem to have a sort of a very intelligent ethics of the way you're getting various ingredients together and baking here, of course.
Well, I think in this day and age, people want to know where their food is coming from, and if it's coming from a huge distance away, they're not very happy about that. We believe in sourcing as much local produce as possible. We get all of our fresh fruit and veg that's delivered every day from New Covent Garden Market, but then we work with local bakeries to get our bread delivered fresh every day, and then we source a whole range. We have a little shop down the end of the store, and we have a lot of locally made honey, locally made popcorn, locally made chocolates.
It's wonderful.
So we do work with a lot of local suppliers. Even though we're a coffee house, we've got 14 different teas on the go.
See, that's, interrupting you, that's pretty special as well. I mean, its own right, 14 is an incredible number of choice.
All loose leaf, all served with teapots, strainers and teacups, and again we work with Tiger Spring Teas, which is a local producer from the local farmers market, so they're all sourced locally as well.
Wow, absolutely
we've
delighted.
Also got an upstairs area as well, which is all comfy sofas and armchairs. It's like an old-fashioned gentleman's club.
Oh, we
upstairs.
like. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, let's do that. It's been delightful having coffee and chatting, but I'd love to see a bit more.
Okay, right, I'll show you around.
Thanks, Russell.
Okay.
Anyway, we're up here now, absolutely beautiful. I didn't expect it to be so roomy, but some history to this, I imagine, Russell.
Yes, the building, we've been told by the local historical society that it was built around 1475. The building does half the work for us. It's a beautiful space. We've turned it into more of a living room upstairs, as you can see. We also have a library. We do a book swap. So it's a way of encouraging recycling in the community. So customers come in with old books, switch them out for new ones, and it just keeps
it's a lovely idea.
Rotating. It's really, really nice.
It's so homely. You know, you're hard pressed to find something like this equivalently in the village, I have to say. It's beautiful.
It's a very unique space. I love all the beams. It's wonderfully relaxing up here, and people do stay all day.
That is, well, who wouldn't? You know, a nice coffee and maybe a keg or something. Who would want to move? It's absolutely beautiful. No, it's really lovely to see. Yeah. You're very popular, and I know a lot of interest in what you're doing. And I also understand that recently you were nominated for an award, I believe, in Surrey Life. Now, I don't know if you can actually tell us how that's gone, because I know they're announcing it quite soon, but how did it go for you, nomination-wise?
We were picked, we were into the top 3, which was absolutely fantastic, and we were really, really shocked, wonderfully shocked, and very humble. It's the Surrey Life Food and Drink Awards. They have 8 different categories, and the award ceremony was actually very recently, about 6 days ago. So
wow, it's exciting though when accolades come one's way. I mean, that is a sign of success, isn't it? Really,
I think the wonderful thing about it was voted for by the consumers, by the readers of Surrey Life. Yeah. So we were really, really pleased to win.
They mean more, they sometimes say, don't they? They're sort of like the viewers' votes equivalently. You know, they really do.
Obviously, this is a first for myself and Andy, setting up and running a place like this, and to then be just to be nominated was wonderful. But we actually won the award, and
well
for best
done.
tea/coffee shop in Surrey, and it was a huge shock. We weren't expecting it, and we do feel really, really humble about
well, no,
it.
but I mean, even coming here in my own time, I mean, it's such a welcoming ambience. It's such an informal, and it feels like coming home. It's got that kind of feel factor, and that's down to you guys. It has to be, and that's very special, I think. Very.
I think when setting this place up, the main aim was to make sure that everyone felt really, really comfortable, and so that's to greet everyone warmly when they come in, and to ensure that the environment is perfect.
Yeah, it's unforgettable. That's the way I put it. I absolutely believe that.